We have a vision to be an international university of choice, anchored in Africa, dynamically shaping the future. At UJ, we're committed to creating a teaching and learning environment that will retain and produce visionary, able, innovative people who remain firmly at the center of creating tomorrow.
On behalf of the Council, the Executive Management, and UJ staff, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our university graduates and their guests to this virtual graduation ceremony. As is the case in many parts of the world, South Africans are currently experiencing elements of a national lockdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is without a doubt a defining global crisis of our time and one of the most significant challenges we have collectively faced in our lived history. Due to restrictions on public gatherings, the university has had to move the graduation ceremonies online. The qualifications will instead be awarded and conferred to our graduates in absentia by means of this virtual graduation session. Higher education, like many other sectors, is reeling under the impact of the virus. As we all continue to navigate through this unique and evolving challenge, the University of Johannesburg has taken the necessary steps to ensure business continuity. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all staff for their support during these challenging times. Due to the commitment from our staff and students, we were the first university that was able to complete the 2020 year on time with an improved student success rates, and we are progressing well with academic activities this year. In total, more than 1,250 academic qualifications are awarded and conferred at these virtual graduation ceremonies. This includes almost 650 undergraduate diplomas or degrees and more than 600 postgraduate degrees, including 336 masters and 96 doctoral degrees. Given that a graduation ceremony is such a momentous occasion in students' life, we have also made for limited time in facility available on campus for graduates to collect their certificates and take photos with their family members in their graduation gowns. Please visit the graduation page on our website for more information. I'm reminded of the words of our former President Nelson Mandela, and I quote, "Our children are the rock on which our future will be built, our greatest asset as a nation. They will be the leaders of our country, the creators of our national wealth who care for and protect our people." Close quote. Graduates, you have been prepared for leadership. You are equipped to join the world of work, locally and abroad. You are empowered to be a leader in the fourth industrial revolution, where technology is infused in our workplaces, homes, and all aspects of our lives. The pandemic has certainly confirmed that this indeed will be our future. This world you are venturing into is abundant with opportunities, but is also beset with challenges. Yet, you have the exciting opportunity to be the architects and builders of a new world as you embark on the next phase, whether it be in the world of work or further study. We know that you will use your successes and your strength to make positive contributions to society as a responsible corporate citizen and future leader. As you bask with justified pride in your successes, bear in mind that you have not walked this journey alone. You have walked with your fellow students, lecturers, tutors, and firm encouragement and support of family and friends. As you celebrate your achievements and move on to the next chapter, we take this moment to thank them for being your companions. Graduates, we hope to see you again when furthering your studies and as active alumni. On behalf of UJ, I would like to congratulate all our graduates. Chancellor, I now request you to confer or award the respective qualifications.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now constitute this meeting as a lawful congregation of the University of Johannesburg. E le ge ke hlompha maatla ao ke filweng go ona, bjale ke thea phuthego ye ya go ba semolao University ya Johannesburg. Krachtens die bevoegdheden aan mij toevertrouw, verklaar ik nou hierdie vergadering as 'n wettige congregasie van die Universiteit van Johannesburg. Ngenxa yegunya enginikwe lona, ngimisa lo mhlangano njengokuhlangana okusemthethweni kwenyuvesi yase-Johannesburg. I hereby confirm the conferral or awarding of the qualifications on the candidates as listed in the graduation programs. Executive Dean, please present the faculty and the candidates.
The faculty is home to over 11,000 students, and throughout the 2021 graduation ceremony, series will be graduating over 3,000 students. This is one of the 8 faculties of the University of Johannesburg, whose vision is to be the top international university anchored in Africa and dynamically shaping the future. To this effect, the faculty supports the University Global Excellence and Stature mission. The world is experiencing a strategic disruptor in the SARS-CoV-2 virus. We will, from now on, be talking in terms of pre- and post-COVID-19. We are in the midst of making that transition since many people remain unvaccinated. The engineering and built environment qualification is and was designed to ensure a successful navigation of all kinds of disruptors, including COVID-19. In the faculty, we have used all the technologies of the 4th Industrial Revolution, including connectivity, IoT, visualization, and artificial intelligence to ensure that we remain productive throughout the pandemic. The faculty ratings were increased in many international measures of quality in engineering education. This year, 10 of our engineering programs will be undergoing accreditations by 5 professional bodies. The faculty is ready. The faculty has demonstrated relevance of its education. At least 5 projects were undertaken to fight COVID-19. These include a 30 million rand project for the maintenance of hospital ventilators and also the design of open source ventilators using 3D printing. There is an ongoing project to eliminate SARS-CoV-2 virus using ultraviolet C light. We have also modeled how the virus behaves in a moving minibus taxi with strategies to effectively combat and eliminate the virus. Among our many research projects, we will also be launching a 3D printer for RDP houses in August 2021 as part of our relevance to socio-economic issues. We continue to believe in a vision to be a leading institution of choice anchored in Africa and dynamically shaping the future. We congratulate our graduates as we hope that you will not only inspire engineering education, advanced technologies, but help engineer groundbreaking innovations to better humanity. Thank you.
Rolani Chauke, Management Services. Tshegofatso Lulama Makata, Operations Management. Yamgele Mnyaga, Management Services. Karabo Mkhosi, Operations Management. Elwin Mulatodi, Operations Management. Pauline Spiwe Mtwene, Operations Management. Mluleki Senzo Ndlela, Operations Management.
Bilal Saluji, Operations Management.
Sipho William Sambo, Operations Management. Nolwazi Nomdeni Shezi, Management Services.
Jean Wilfried Akosi, Engineering Mechanical.
Sihle Mbali Buthelezi, Engineering Electrical Electronic. Nzalo Tyron Chuma, Engineering Electrical. Gildas Lillian Janie, Engineering Civil. Mxolisi Crowley Dlabeya, Industrial Engineering. Kevin Kadima, Mechanical Engineering. Noxolo Katong, Industrial Engineering. Caleb Kekana, Engineering Mechanical. Xolisi Kanye, Engineering Chemical. Clymont Komane, Mechanical Engineering. Malose Michael Kutu, Engineering Industrial. Bukamuso Joster Langa, Engineering Industrial. Ritselisitswe Marvin Litsika, Engineering Electrical. Akron Bushoma Mabelane, Engineering Metallurgy. Emmanuel Magagula, Engineering Industrial. Tiane Kulani Mahesu, Industrial Engineering. Duduzi Mahlangu, Engineering Electrical. Bongani Mandla Makome, Engineering Electrical Electronic. Tabang Mashaba Malimone, Engineering Instrumentation Technology. Tsepo Amos Manaka, Engineering Chemical. Vincent Tapelo Maputuma, Industrial Engineering. Shane Maponya, Engineering Electrical. Cita Ngobile Masanabo, Engineering Metallurgy. France Fani Masangu, Engineering Industrial. Tinashe Chakabwata Masango, Engineering Electrical Electronic. Vutani Brighton Mashawu, Extraction Metallurgy. Mpumelelo Gift Masilela, Mechanical Engineering. Lehlogonolo Isaac Matenji, Engineering Industrial. Tendo Faith Matalisa, Engineering Civil. Nombuso Matsena, Engineering Metallurgy. Joseph Mavunda, Engineering Chemical. Bongumusa Sibusiso Mdaga, Extraction Metallurgy. Fisokuhle Khethiwe Mfusi, Engineering Electrical. Xolisile Mjiyakho, Engineering Electrical. Gugulethu Nonkululeko Mnisi, Mechanical Engineering. Mthobisi Sithabiso Mnyaka, Engineering, Industrial. Zweletu Cedric Mufukeng, Industrial Engineering. Penyo Komutso Mukhosi, Engineering, Chemical. Mudise Quintin Munageng, Engineering, Metallurgy. Gaugelo Mutawu, Engineering, Metallurgy.
Chimangatso Mudau, Engineering Civil.
Ronewa Mukona, Engineering, Industrial.
Opa Ambrose Mwafuliwa, Industrial Engineering.
Themba Ephraim Mzankomo, Engineering, Electrical. Mkateko Benedicta Ndimandi, Engineering, Electrical, Power. Mpumelelo Sfiso Ndlovu, Engineering, Industrial. Humbulani Martin Ndovada, Mechanical Engineering. Tetelo Manale Ngako, Extraction Metallurgy. Ntsako Nkanyani, Engineering, Metallurgy. Ntombizamangwane Nkosi, Mechanical Engineering. Jacob Maputle Pasha, Engineering, Industrial. Warabile Ramadile, Engineering, Industrial. Lehlohonolo Rampadi, Engineering, Computer Systems. Sanele Amelia Rikhoto, Engineering, Civil. Malachi Puseletso Jonety Sibake, Engineering, Mechanical. Nonhlanhla Pinky Simpe, Engineering, Metallurgy. Nhlalala Bonwise Sithole, Engineering, Civil. Njabulo Shongwe, Engineering, Industrial. Kennedy Thomas Sithole, Mechanical Engineering. Pindile Sole, Engineering, Industrial. Victor Bonginkosi Tambela, Engineering, Civil. Joseph Bongane Tenjwayo, Engineering, Chemical. Kanyiso Chaka, Engineering, Mechanical. Melanie Zilwa, Mechanical Engineering. Tabiso Khotso Khadi, Quality. Mudiba Makamata, Management Services. Nkosnati Brian Masugu, Quality. Moni Rosina Sihlwana, Quality. Katlego Michael Sitwaba, Management Services.
Mukoko Benfai Bula, Town and Regional Planning.
Pradarshini Pramodini Irusan, Engineering, Chemical. Tinyiko Sylvia Makubele, Town and Regional Planning. Percy Russell Makwinza, Town and Regional Planning. Ritlametswi Rose Masilo, Town and Regional Planning. Queenie Siphelele Notoza, Town and Regional Planning. Tshepiso Maabale Mkhonyana, Mining Engineering. Thulega Landile Mutlake, Town and Regional Planning. Ntsako Pelican Navela, Town and Regional Planning. Themba Confidence Ndwene, Town and Regional Planning. Patuchetso Nechizate, Town and Regional Planning. Desmond Tebinkosi Njongo, Engineering, Electrical. Bongiwe Nokwe, Town and Regional Planning. Muhau Solomon Madubanya, Mine Surveying. Zamani Mazbugo, Urban and Regional Planning. Olani Dennis Mbato, Urban and Regional Planning. Jeremiah Khotso Mika, Urban and Regional Planning. Sfiso Mia, Urban and Regional Planning. Esilia Pereira, Urban and Regional Planning. Gada Solomon Siabulela Phiri, Urban and Regional Planning. Palisa Rakwadi, Mining Engineering. Mashawo Solomon Tobakale, Urban and Regional Planning. Elfas Benzane, Civil Engineering. Siyavuya Kendlovu, Mining Engineering. Tiani Sydney Chauke, Electrical Engineering. Simba Tatenda Chawanda, Electrical Engineering. Palos Ntaja Chirwa, Civil Engineering. Mudzunga Sbusiso Demana, Mining Engineering. Sbongile Innocentia Dlamini, Mining Engineering. Robin Ndovoyo Hlatshwayo, Mechanical Engineering. Ngobisile Tiny Hlongwane, Electrical Engineering. Sthembiso Promise Hlongwane, Civil Engineering. Yanga Jejane, Extraction Metallurgy. Tensur Nsapu Kibambe, Electrical Engineering. Sarel Ntau Koga, Mining Engineering. Mpho Lesu, Electrical Engineering. Murphy Lumboli, Mechanical Engineering. Christina Magabe, Electrical Engineering. Mpho Faith Maimane, Mining Engineering. Tepo Wiseman Makubela, Electrical Engineering. Bethwell Tsunisani Maluleke, Electrical Engineering. Thandazile Marwebu, Mining Engineering. Bonginkosi Shoes Mbamali, Mining Engineering. Thandeka Avi Mhlanga, Mining Engineering. Munanga Deborah Mitumbu, Electrical Engineering. Nepo Brilliant Mola, Electrical Engineering. And Natalia Ngojana, Industrial Engineering. Buipilu Melanie Mwasa, Civil Engineering. Karabo Mudimakwane, Industrial Engineering. Tabang Phako Mwela, Extraction Metallurgy. Mandla Mkhotsi, Industrial Engineering. Ponto Mujela, Civil Engineering. Tsegofatso Rakadi Mulepo, Mining Engineering. Nkoluleko Muloyi, Electrical Engineering. Sillo Maruping Mutupa, Electrical Engineering. Dipubo Chwene Muyaha, Industrial Engineering. Nkoluleko Lumka Zandisile Msomi, Electrical Engineering. Nobuhle Hlengiwe Mthethwa, Industrial Engineering. Muneiwa Nageli, Industrial Engineering. Melusi Wiseman Ndwandwe, Civil Engineering. Lindokuhle Fortunate Nzimande, Electrical Engineering. Romeo Tendo Netili, Industrial Engineering. Kabelo Edwin Ngakane, Electrical Engineering. Nkosivile Thoba Nhleko, Electrical Engineering. Mugau Ntswane, Mining Engineering. Aphiwe Nyembe, Industrial Engineering. Kiurapetsi Khuputso Phala, Electrical Engineering. Fatuwani Ralipada, Civil Engineering. Patuchetso Ramanala, Industrial Engineering. Muriti Sanson Ramulefu, Electrical Engineering. Maanda Katlego Ramutsili, Mechanical Engineering. Helman Molubane Sikwayila, Civil Engineering. Themba Sithole, Mechanical Engineering. Zubenathi Innocent Sobhuza, Electrical Engineering. Mape Nelisiwe Thokwane, Extraction Metallurgy. Ndamulelo Thobakale, Civil Engineering. Khucho Sipampe Tladi, Electrical Engineering. Mamujaki Francina Totolwane, Mining Engineering. Dick Murunwa Chakuma, Electrical Engineering. Indivuwo Hope Chila, Industrial Engineering. Funzo Gift Chisukule, Civil Engineering. Sibonelo Mpilenhle Zulu, Industrial Engineering. Ryan Kotier, Electrical and Electronic Engineering with Endorsement Information Technology. Brandon Raymond Fraser, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Zama Qabashe, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Gwandumuzi Leni Gwebu, Civil Engineering. Jacob Khoza, Civil Engineering. Sibongiseni AB Khoza, Civil Engineering. Babalo Len Libelwana, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Siboniso Luthuli, Mechanical Engineering. Kidiboni Makhalimele, Civil Engineering. Zanele Maria Akomboti, Mechanical Engineering. Zanele Mavis Masugu, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Fortune Matonsi, Mechanical Engineering. Khanyisani Pascal Matonsi, Civil Engineering. Siyabonga Mavugela, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Mzamo Benefit Mbazima, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Sizwe Howard Mkabela, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Terence Fumani Munareng, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Alpha Mtombeni, Mechanical Engineering. Lungisane Naledi, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Bongumenzi Ngubeni, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Brighton Ndlovu, Civil Engineering. Siyabonga Mlungisi Ngobese, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Unkabetswe Uratile Ngwasheng, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Tsizwa zonke Cedric Nkosi, Mechanical Engineering. Alan Tlhulukhelo Sikwe, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Phakamile Mpilwenhle Sikhosana, Civil Engineering. Thabang Edward Teletsane, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Wealthy Tlangelani Shirinda, Construction Project Management. Simnigiwe Mahewu, Sustainable Urban Planning and Development. Lungani Makaye, Sustainable Urban Planning and Development. Malukane Emily Mukhuwe, Industrial Engineering with Distinction. Noumo Musikavanu, Industrial Engineering. Romancia Shunga, Sustainable Urban Planning and Development. Mawande Skibi, Industrial Engineering. Petmo Taruvinga, Sustainable Urban Planning and Development with Distinction. Oluwatimininu John Ademolu, Operations Management. Ebenezer Baths, Construction Management. Amand J. Beekers, Engineering, Civil. Donald Marshall Chiangwa, Construction Management. Goodness Ayanda Zamile Dlamini, Engineering, Electrical. Noah Sindile Fagute, Engineering, Electrical. Zamugwanda Vincent Gambu, Engineering, Mechanical, with distinction. Jabulani Wilson Jacobs, Construction Management. Nkululeko Patrick Jama, Engineering, Industrial. Tidimalo Kobwe, Construction Management. Muhale Lawrence Litseli, Extraction Metallurgy. Ebenezer Mabota, Engineering, Electrical. Nomalungelo Noktogoza Magwaza, Operations Management. Patterson Majuru, Operations Management. Davison Makondo, Engineering, Industrial. Mulalo Milton Marwala, Engineering, Electrical. Stephen Vusumuzi Mashiru, Engineering, Mechanical. Folufelo Maumela, Engineering, Industrial. Bongegile Nomshado Precious Mbete, Quantity Surveying. Nomkosi Princess Mdluli, Chemical Engineering. Sifiso Mfundo Mtambo, Engineering, Mechanical. Kwena Rebina Mukhehle, Operations Management. Magano Mulefe, Operations Management. Daisy Nkele Mulukome, Engineering, Electrical. Jida Muwala, Chemical Engineering. Blessed Nshalati Mushwana, Engineering, Industrial. Mbali Claudia Myeni, Operations Management. Tsilane Risuna Gail Ndlovu, Chemical Engineering. Tagalani Razuma, Engineering, Mechanical. Lance Abraham Roy, Engineering, Mechanical. Halalisani Sikhulile Shamase, Engineering, Mechanical. Refilwe Situnya Chipa, Extraction Metallurgy. Adiola Oyewole Abe, Structural Engineering. Ayodele Kibenga Adisa, Civil Engineering. Padin Baloyi, Mechanical Engineering. Namdi Chikwuka Dibia Echezona, Mechanical Engineering. Andre Espak, Mechanical Engineering. Andre Ferreira, Structural Engineering. Kusai Naif Barhum Ibrahim, Mechanical Engineering, with distinction. Godri Lumanisa Landu, Engineering Management, with distinction. Sakhwadi Rabela Amugelani Mashimbye, Engineering Management. Malusi Musawinkosi Matonsi, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Sandewu Brian Mufo, Engineering Management, with distinction. Tepiso Napo, Engineering Management. Mushoshi Innocent Pilusa, Engineering Management. Tapedi Karabo Ramarimela, Engineering Management. Khotso Raymond Rapuswane, Engineering Management. Kenneth Michael Slabert, Mechanical Engineering, with distinction. Nhlakanipho Good Hope Blose, Engineering Management. Gertrude Bukaba, Engineering Management. Joseph Maribe Dkhale, Engineering Management. Lindelwa Gugu Dlomo, Engineering Management. Sbusiso Desmond Duma, Engineering Management. Mabatu Ellen Rabunewe, Engineering Management. Sivuyile Elliot Gayiya, Engineering Management. Pholuso Libepe, Engineering Management. Lirato Princess Mahlangu, Engineering Management. Mandla Petros Makubo, Engineering Management. Lebogang Malatsi, Engineering Management. Busisiwe Lindelwe Malindi, Engineering Management. Ted Matebula, Engineering Management. Nondumiso Goodness Mhlongo, Engineering Management. Lungelo Lindelwa Mkhungo, Engineering Management. Katlego Kevin Mugano, Mechanical Engineering. Ntelekwa Lawrence Muhasi, Engineering Management. Muyeketsi Horatius Muhlabi, Engineering Management. Patricia Peya Shamaine Mukwena, Engineering Management. Richard Ngaka Musia, Engineering Management. Khomutso Sam Mutsepe, Engineering Management. Tifelo Joseph Mutuba, Engineering Management. Nkanyiso Msweli, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Chimangatso Jane Mutawu, Engineering Management. Clement Aaron Monwenman Okpoko, Engineering Management.
Raideen Winston Rangi, Engineering Management.
Johannes Kobate Sikele, Engineering Management. Onela Tanga Tambwe, Construction Management with distinction. Herbert Abeka, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil Engineering.
Herbert Abeka developed a model for the sustainable delivery of low-income housing in Ghana. The collected data from the survey was analyzed using M+ and Arrow software. The study's findings show that the most significant factors affecting the sustainable delivery of housing in Ghana were high demand for safe subsidized housing, the barriers to housing delivery in Ghana in general, state participation, private sector participation, community participation, and housing financing. The goodness of fit output from the analyzed data revealed that the model has substantial power explaining the factors that affect the sustainable delivery of housing in Ghana. The developed model is envisaged to be contributory in road mapping and identifying key attributes and strategies for the delivering of sustainable housing in Ghana. Thank you.
Lawrence Yawo Ado, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil Engineering.
Lawrence Ado's research study focused on developing an institutional model for the effective management of urban water supply in Ghana. A 6-factor model was developed and validated using structural equation modeling. Findings revealed that institutional processes and stakeholders management significantly influences the management of urban water supply in Ghana. The novelty of the study lies in the institutional model that was developed for the effective management of urban water supply, which has been developed to aid stakeholders in the urban water supply sector of Ghana. The developed institutional model, when applied correctly, will address the lack of framework for the effective management of urban water supply in Ghana. Thank you.
Ibrahim Gadel Alassan, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical and Electronic Engineering.
Gedel Ibrahim Al Hassan's doctoral study focused on the techno-economic performance evaluation of 5G wireless network architecture. Firstly, the candidate formulated passive infrastructure elements and proposed novel mathematical models to calculate the capital expenditure, operational expenditure, total cost of investment, total cost of ownership, and net present value for the infrastructure setup. Calculations were performed using market prices from the National Communication Authority, the mobile network operators, and tower companies in Ghana. The candidate then considered various 5G network architecture and designed centralized wireless network architecture and distributed wireless network architecture for the implementation of 5G technology. Again, economic calculations and analysis were performed using data from Ghana. Lastly, the study determined the optimal transmission backhaul network infrastructure for 5G technology and performed the techno-economic analysis for the designed infrastructure. The results obtained for the above objectives indicate that high throughput, low latency, scalability, and high capacity backhaul for optimally designed 5G mobile architecture. Obtained results from the thesis were published in various peer-reviewed indexed research outlets.
Oyeniyi Akim Alimi, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical and Electronic Engineering.
Mr. Oyeni Akim Alimi's doctoral research focused on analyzing, detecting, and mitigating the effects of cyber instructions and attacks in modern power systems using machine learning and feature engineering tools, including heuristic optimization techniques. The research investigations revealed that the ensembling of machine learning algorithms and the hybridization of machine learning algorithms with heuristic optimization algorithms assist in improving the performances of classifications models when they are deployed in modern power system security assessment. Hence, Mr. Alimi developed several novel models for the classifications of unwanted events in modern power systems. One of his papers won the Best Paper Award of the IEEE 7th International Conference on Adaptive Science and Technology Conference. Thank you.
Taiwo Oliwafemi Paparinde, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering.
Babarinde Taiwo Oluwafemi, Mechanical Engineering. Thesis, Experimental and Numerical Analysis of eco-friendly nano-refrigerant in vapor compression refrigeration system. Supervisors are Dr. Akinlabi and co-supervisor Professor Majira. Babarinde Taiwo Oluwafemi researched the experimental and numerical analysis of eco-friendly nano-refrigerants in vapor compression refrigeration system. The research involved the use of zero ozone depleting potential and low global warming potential refrigerants, mainly isobutane and liquefied petroleum gas enhanced with titanium dioxide, multi-walled carbon nanotubes and graphene nanoparticles as a substitute for 1112 tetrafluoretane R134A refrigerant, a high global warming potential refrigerant in a vapor compression refrigeration system. The research compared R134A with R600A and LPG enhanced with nanoparticles in terms of coefficient of performance, cooling capacity, and power consumption. Also, two models were developed, mainly artificial neural networks and adaptive neurofuzzy inference system, to predict the performance of the enhanced nanorefrigerant in the system and compared with the experimental results. The research contributed to reducing energy demand, control of climate change, and global warming contributed by refrigeration and air conditioning industries. Supervisors, Dr. Stephen Akinlabi and co-supervisor, Professor Daniel Majira.
Aikeman Paneman, Doctor of Philosophy, Construction Management.
Benamen Aijimen Construction Management. Thesis, an integrated framework for maintenance of urban roads infrastructure in Ghana. Supervisors, Professor Clinton Aibaboa, co-supervisor, Professor Wellington Twala. Aijimen Benjamin research focused on developing an integrated framework for the maintenance of urban road infrastructure in Ghana. Consequently, a 7-factor framework was developed and validated through the structural equation modeling using Amos version 22.0 software to analyze the collected primary data. The study findings revealed that the identified construct positively affected the effective maintenance of urban roads in Ghana. Overall, the study tested the significant factors of policy and regulations, budget maintenance, management practices, maintenance investment, stakeholders management, maintenance culture, and government commitment, and provided a framework for the effective maintenance of urban roads in Ghana. The findings offer a platform for advanced research in Ghana's sustainable maintenance of urban roads. Supervisors, Professor Clinton Ibaboa, co-supervisor, Professor Wellington Twala.
Ayad Buhulaiga, Doctor of Philosophy, Engineering Management.
Buhulaiga Ayad, Engineering Management, thesis Unleashing the Potential of Manufacturing Digital Transformation, a step towards achieving the Saudi Vision 2030. Supervisor, Professor Anesh Telukdari. Ayad Buhulaiga conducted research on digitalization of an integrated petrochemical plant. Manufacturers are faced with many challenges as a result of volatile energy prices and dynamic market conditions. These challenges are further complicated if a manufacturer is a multinational enterprise, especially multinational enterprises that are expanding across geographical boundaries with diverse systems, local practices, and norms. In order to face these challenges, multinational enterprises have been in pursuit of operational excellence by implementing different engineering management tools, such as manufacturing operations management and manufacturing execution systems to optimize production. The fourth industrial revolution has introduced tools such as a cyber-physical system, artificial intelligence, and the industrial Internet of Things, which unlock unprecedented capabilities. The value proposition of this research is to provide a framework for modular CPS to be provided as a service to petrochemical multinational enterprises, following a 4IR-based reference architecture. The research includes governance and integration with an end-to-end business process and adoption management to achieve sustainable implementation with the lowest cost of ownership. The proposed framework was validated with Saudi Aramco, where a full implementation of the first CPS was conducted. The overall design includes reproducibility to be provided as a service to other operating facilities with Saudi Aramco and beyond. This has resulted in the development of 20 innovative solutions that are mapped to the multinational enterprise OE objectives. 2 of these solutions have been filed in the U.S. Patent Office. The study provided a quantitative benefit of the CPS as a service, which has revealed a major reduction in CAPEX and OPEX up to 50%, as well as power consumption with CO2 emissions. Supervisor, Professor Anesh Telukdari.
Eustace Manai Dogo, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical and Electronic Engineering.
Eustace Manai Dogo's research focused on investigating imbalanced learning using artificial intelligence algorithms in real-world water quality detection problems. He first presented an extensive empirical comparison of different combinations of techniques using 10 single classifiers, 17 variants of ensemble algorithms, and an optimized deep neural network model combined with 15 data preprocessing methods to tackle imbalanced learning problems. The models were compared using established performance evaluation metrics. The candidate went further to improve the performance of ensemble learning approaches by proposing 3 new dynamic selection algorithms combined with data preprocessing methods. The first was based on decision tree ensemble methods. The second was based on random forest ensemble methods. The third model was based on heterogeneous ensemble methods using 3 distinct pool of classifiers. The study results indicated the model's ability to effectively learn from imbalanced dataset problems.
Jacob Grief, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical and Electronic Engineering.
Grief Jacob, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Thesis, enriching engineering student experience of final year projects through gamification and authentic learning. Supervisor, Professor Andre Nell. Co-supervisor, Dr. Raylan Heyman. Jacobus Grief research explored the impact of various gamified interventions on the experience of students in a capstone project module in electrical engineering degree at University of Johannesburg, and this was conducted using a design science research methodology where artifacts developed as interventions were used for participatory design approach. Authentic learning and self-determination theory were used to develop the artifacts. The study addressed a number of problems identified via questionnaires and interviews, which were solved through the creation of a web portal that included the gamified interventions supporting students' duration of the course. The allocation systems use the stable marriage algorithm with indifference. A location-based game was developed to foster interaction between the stakeholders, and a challenge-based system was created to foster academic resilience. The resultant findings showed that students would welcome gamified interventions. In all years where the interventions were used, students performed better. A number of publications have already been completed based on the study. Supervisor, Professor Andre Nell. Co-supervisors, Dr. Heyman and Professor Carroll.
Murendeni Lipatsi, Doctor of Philosophy, Engineering Management.
Murendeni Lepadzi developed an integrated leadership development framework in the South African construction industry. The framework was theorized from a broad literature review and further confirmed through a 3-round Delphi process and a structural equation modeling analysis of the collected quantitative primary data for the study. The developed framework established the influences of motivation, ethical succession planning, communication, emotional intelligence, entrepreneurial ability, and leadership education features in predicting the outcome of an integrated leadership development framework for the construction industry in South Africa. With the developed integrated leadership development framework, it is envisaged that leadership development in the South African construction industry can be improved when applied. Furthermore, the developed model will be valuable in planning leadership development programs and seminars within the South African built environment organizations, and ultimately enabling the industry to know the vital areas to commit resources to, so that there is effectiveness in the construction industry leadership development in general. Thank you.
Lestin Matindife, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical and Electronic Engineering.
Liston Matindefi's doctoral research focused on the optimal design of the remote monitoring of the usage of appliances within the smart home through the non-instructive load monitoring method. Using machine learning, he was able to develop highly efficient computer vision-based NILM systems, which used the low complexity algorithms with highly reduced appliance database compared to existing algorithms. Furthermore, he was able to design and implement appliance NILM signal-based architecture, which improved the recognition performance of appliances that are similar in electrical specifications. The knowledge gained here resulted in simpler and cheaper but highly discriminating NILM algorithms. In addition, the research shows that in future, the NILM appliance status recognition in the SH can be fully implemented using only the much more user-friendly, less tasking and very high recognition CV approach. The outputs of this research were published in 2 high-impact RSR master-indexed journals and 1 conference paper.
Rendani Mbuva, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical and Electronic Engineering.
In his thesis, Rendani Mbuva investigates probabilistic parameter inference methods that provide both predictive uncertainty and feature relevance measures. Rendani presents a novel application of the separable shadow Hamiltonian hybrid Monte Carlo. S2HMC addresses traditional MCMC methods, discretization constraints using a perturbed Hamiltonian which is conserved in a higher order by the numerical integration scheme. Experimental results on wind energy and credit data sets find that S2HMC yields higher effective sample sizes than the competing hybrid Monte Carlo. Further, Rendani performs hierarchical inference for BNN parameters using a novel combination of the S2HMC sampler with Gibbs sampling of hyperparameters for automatic relevance determination ARD. Rendani also addresses predictive distribution calibration pathologies of the existing product of Gaussian process expert models. He introduces a novel solution to the predictive dominance of uninformed experts through expert combination via the Wasserstein-Berry-Center and spasticity control through tempered softmax weightings. These proposals are empirically shown to outperform other product of experts POE methods. Finally, the thesis provides a Bayesian inference approach to change point determination in the spreading rates of the novel severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2 SARS-CoV-2 in South Africa. This approach is a novel, probabilistically principled method for quantifying the relative efficacy of the various South African government interventions to manage the spread of SARS-CoV-2. Rendani has published 5 journal and 3 conference papers.
Maanda Emmanuel Mutaiwana, Doctor of Philosophy, Engineering Management.
Maanda Emmanuel Mutaiwana's research focused on low-cost housing backlogs in South Africa. Approximately 4.6 million low-cost housing subsidies have been granted by the South African government since 1994, providing housing opportunities to approximately 18 million people, or 32% of the national population. South Africa, however, still faces the challenge of a low-cost housing backlog of more than 2 million units and a demand exceeding 100,000 units annually. Some of the indicators that accelerate low-cost housing backlogs and demand include poverty, high population growth rates, low income rates, high unemployment rates, and low levels of education. Based on the results obtained from the artificial intelligence systems ANFIS and AN, high unemployment rates, low levels of education, and low income rates were among the top 3 factors growing low-cost housing backlogs. The study contributes to the body of knowledge in that it provides sophisticated methods for predicting indicators that influence future low-cost housing demand in identified geographical areas.
Okudili, Simeon Okbona, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering.
Obona Okudili Simeon, Mechanical Engineering. Thesis: Experimental and Numerical Analysis of Hybrid MIG and TIG Welding of Dissimilar Stainless Steel Mild Steel Joints. Supervisors: Dr. Stephen Akinlabi, Co-Supervisor Dr. Nkosinati Madushele. Okudili Simeon Obona researched the experimental and numerical analysis of hybrid MIG and TIG welding of dissimilar stainless steel mild steel joints. The research involved the Tagu-Chi optimization of TIG and MIG dissimilar welding of AISI 1008 mild steel and AISI 316 austenitic stainless steel in both butt and lap joint configurations, and thermal and residual stresses distribution analysis through transient thermal analysis using ANSYS simulation software. The current welding was found to be the most significant factor for the TIG welded joints, while the welding voltage was the most significant process parameter for the MIG welded joints. Significant improvement was observed in the mechanical properties and corrosion resistance property of the joints, welded with optimal welding process parameters. The MIG welding process gave higher temperatures and thermal stresses compared to the TIG welding process. The research contributed to the developing the optimal welding process parameters for a reproducible weld joint of AISI 1008 mild steel and AISI 316 authentic stainless steel with excellent joint integrity. Supervisors: Dr. Akinlabi and co-supervisors Dr. Nkosinati Madushele.
Tope Rosaline Olorufunemi, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical and Electronic Engineering.
Tope Rosaline Olorunfemi's doctoral study focused on the optimal energy management of a microgrid by deploying mathematical optimization and multi-agent system techniques to effectively manage hybrid renewable energy sources in a grid-connected microgrid. The study further considered the incorporation of demand response programs to minimize the operational cost, battery wear cost, and also to maximize energy savings. 4 mathematical models were developed and solved to achieve these objectives. Obtained modeling results show the suitability and practicality of the developed models for optimal microgrid optimization and control. The results from the thesis were published in various peer-reviewed research outlets.
Ifetawo John Oluwafemi, Doctor of Philosophy, Engineering Management.
Ifetayo John Oluwafemi conducted a study on the Total Quality Management TQM model for performance improvement in higher education institutions, HEIs. It involved identifying lapses in HEIs within the underdeveloped countries and onward developing quality indicators such as the quality of learners, the quality of the learning environment, the relevance of the content, the quality of the selection process instructors training, and the quality of the learning outcome. The developed TQM model shows the most significant variables influencing the quality of education in higher institutions. The findings further reveal that the practices of TQM in Nigerian higher institutions are still relatively poor. The study recommends that a deliberate effort be made by the leadership of HAIs to involve both student and staff members in adopting and implementing TQM practices which will improve the quality performance of both staff and students. 6 accredited publications emanated from the study.
Peter Ozaveshe Oviro, Doctor of Philosophy, Mechanical Engineering.
Peter Oviro's research developed a nanoporous molybdenum sulfide membranes for water desalinations using atomic layer depositions. In the research, computational simulations were used to explore these 2D membranes materials for water desalinations. The molybdenum sulfide as a membrane for water desalination was studied in relation to the pore size effect, applied pressures, temperature effect, and porosity. It also looked at the mechanical strength of the materials and the growth mechanisms using the atomic layer depositions. The study, which aimed to provide a collective understanding of these high permease selective molybdenum sulfide membranes realizations for water desalination, showed that the water permeabilities of the molybdenum sulfide monolayer membrane was in the order of magnitudes greater than that of conventional reverse osmosis process membranes, thus showing the effectiveness of this nanoporous molybdenum sulfide membrane materials and its importance in water purifications, nanotechnologies, and the water energy nexus.
Ernestina Maushi Amewonu, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical and Electronic Engineering.
Ernestina Amewonu's doctoral study focused on the comprehensive performance and reliability assessment of radial distribution networks via mathematical optimization techniques. The study began by assessing the effect of distributed generation sighting on the radial distribution network's technical losses and voltage profile by relying on the combination of voltage stability index and power loss reduction index. Furthermore, the study evaluated the effects of different energy sources on the performance of distributed generators in a power network in terms of economic, environmental, and reliability criteria. Lastly, the study determined the influence of demand response on the radial distribution network in terms of reliability and financial benefits. The results obtained for the above objectives indicate the practicality of developed models for evaluating the performance and reliability of radial distribution networks. The results from the thesis were published in various peer-reviewed index research outlets.
Tebuho Keswell Chomane, Dr. Philosophy, Engineering Management.
The aim of Teboho Caswell Shomane's study was to determine the level of understanding of total quality management, TQM, philosophy, and TQM strategy that can be applied in the financial services. TQM is essential for the performance and survival of contemporary organization. The research developed an excellent tool for implementing TQM in the financial services sector, which will be used to monitor the quality of service and provide a benchmark for future improvement in quality in the financial industry. This study contributes to the financial service sector body of knowledge and will inform the banking sector management on implementing TQM in banks. It also contributes to academic literature and quality management practitioners, and it inspires the conducting of further study in the banking sector.
Joe Frederick Kobina, Dr. Philosophy, Engineering Management.
Joe Frederick Kobina developed an integrated project management framework for the Ghanaian construction industry. The developed model is to enhance the management capabilities of the local contractors to manage projects successfully in the Ghanaian construction industry. Stakeholder expectation and risk management were identified as the gaps in managing construction projects successfully in the Ghanaian construction industry. The study used the Delphi methodology and structural equation modeling software for the confirmatory analysis of the quantitative collected data. The outcome of the study indicates that indigenous construction firms could manage a project successfully using multifaceted variables such as organizational structure, project characteristics, stakeholders' expectation, and risk management. The result of the study have theoretical, methodological, and practical implications that have the potential to enhance the management capabilities of the local contractors in Ghana to manage projects successfully in the Ghanaian construction industry. Thank you.
Ibrahim Osumanu Salifu, Dr. Philosophy, Engineering Management.
Ibrahim Osumanu Salifu study was focused on developing an integrated framework for the adoption of lean manufacturing principles for the real estate industry in Ghana. The framework was developed from theories based on the literature review and validated through a mixed methodology in which factor analysis and descriptive statistics were used to derive the study results. The key findings of the research indicated that the contributions of lean framework towards improving performance measures of real estate companies were vital. The findings also revealed that the identified constructs exhibited a positive effect on the attitudes towards lean adoption in the Ghanaian real estate industry. However, 4 variables comprising the maximizing of resources, lack of prerequisite equipment, lack of knowledge and training, and lean understanding were statistically significant. This study contributes to the existing body of knowledge by improving and developing a framework that could serve as a guide for companies in the real estate industry to manage their companies efficiently through the automation of their processes to meet customers' requirements and thus boost sales and profitability. Thank you.
Ayanda Nomaswazi Shabalala, Dr. Philosophy, Civil Engineering.
Ayanda Nomaswazi Shabalala's thesis focuses on applying pervious concrete permeable reactive barriers for the remediation of acid mine drainage. Based on batch and column studies, she demonstrated that a pervious concrete permeable reactive barrier could effectively treat polluted or acidic water by removing heavy metal present in the polluted mine water. Furthermore, she showed that pervious concrete treated mine water met the national limits applicable to discharge of wastewater into a water resource without causing adverse impacts. She investigated the suitability of pervious concrete treated acid mine damage for potential use as irrigation water. Her study found that pervious concrete could effectively treat acid mine damage for irrigation use as metals were reduced to levels within the recommended maximum concentrations for crop production. However, elevated hexavalent chromium levels of the treated water remained a challenge to the successful application of pervious concrete in water treatment. Finally, she conducted an investigation to address chromium levels in mine water treated using pervious concrete. The investigation results found zeolite and ground granulated blast furnace to be effective adsorbents for chromium, which might be used as partial cement replacement materials in systems that employ pervious concrete technology for acid mine drainage treatment. These findings contribute to significant advances in understanding the methods and potential application of permeable concrete barriers in wastewater management. Thank you.
David Mensah, Dr. Philosophy, Engineering Management.
David Mensah developed a framework for the maintenance of public educational buildings in Ghana. Consequently, an 8-factor model was developed and validated using structural equation modeling technique. The findings from the study revealed that effective maintenance management could be considered an 8-factor model defined by its influences on maintenance management practices in public educational institutions. The study's contribution to the body of knowledge is significant because it addresses the lack of theoretical information about which factors are most significant in contributing to effective maintenance management in public buildings. The study also contributes to the understanding of effective maintenance management and the factors that could be regarded as critical for building maintenance management in the public educational institutions building in Ghana. Moreover, variables that define effective maintenance management could be made known to all key stakeholders during the planning stages of the planning of the project, the implementation, monitoring, and controlling of maintenance activities. Thank you.
Opeyemi Olayinka Okunyanda, Dr. Philosophy, Electrical and Electronic Engineering.
Opeyemi Olayinka Okunyanda worked in the engineering fields of information theory and digital communications. The main contribution of her work was on improving coding rates of spectral shaping schemes by introducing injections in the coding aspects of the transmitted user data so as to reduce latency and at the same time improve error correction in the system. The base coding scheme used was permutation coding, out of which target injection codes were constructed. Comparisons with conventional permutation codes were conducted and the proposed scheme exhibited a better performance. Novel mathematical expressions needed for determining the best injection code books for spectral shaping were developed and presented in the form of propositions and later published in international journals. Thank you.
George Jean Stolz, Doctor Engineer, Electrical and Electronic Engineering.
George Jean Stolz's research explored the Rosette Imager, a real-time image formation system. The developed Rosette Imager used a Rosette scanner for sampling and the Fourier domain regularization inversion algorithm based on compressed sensing for image reconstruction. The Rosette Imager was simulated and optimized by selecting the appropriate scanning pattern and detector field of view. Through simulation, it was shown to produce images with spatial frequency response equivalent to an equally sized focal plane array. In the process of developing a Rosette scanner, an interpolation algorithm called the CS-square was developed and shown to outperform traditional image interpolation algorithms. Image quality evaluation throughout the work was based on peak signal-to-noise ratio, Bayesian estimation, and a dark leaves dataset. Lastly, it was shown that image quality due to noise sensitivity can be reduced through multi-level sampling. The resultant findings strengthened the guidelines for Rosette Imager design and provided multiple future research directions.
Good day. It's my pleasure to introduce the Faculty of Science. The Faculty of Science is a vibrant and diverse community where new knowledge in the natural sciences is generated, disseminated, and applied. Our research facilities are state-of-the-art, our academic staff world-class, and we present high-quality undergraduate and postgraduate programs using innovative teaching methodologies. We offer programs that enjoy international accreditation, such as the honors degree offered by the Academy of Computer Science and Software Engineering, which is certified by the British Computer Society. The diploma and advanced diploma in food technology, offered by our Biotechnology and Food Technology Department, is accredited by the US-based International Institute of Food Technologists, established in 1939. We also offer joint postgraduate degrees with highly reputable European and Asian universities as partners, with the University of Lyon in France and Tohoku University in Japan as examples. The University of Johannesburg is a member of an international consortium offering a Master of Science degree in Sustainable Territorial Development. This consortium includes top universities in France, Belgium, Italy, Brazil, and Africa. We also have student and teaching exchange programs with the Swire Institute of Marine Sciences at the University of Hong Kong. The faculty's research theme of developing technologies for the improved quality of all life on Earth explains why we monitor the sustainable use of our natural resources, investigate better wildlife protection through DNA barcoding, why we archive traditional knowledge of medicinal plants, and investigate how to improve the nutritional value of food. Groundbreaking research in our geology department recently provided extraordinary evidence that stones found in the Syrian desert have an extrasolar origin. Our geologists also determined the age of Homo naledi, while the chemists and biochemists developed metallodrugs for the treatment of different cancers and infectious diseases such as HIV/AIDS and TB. The University of Johannesburg, through the Faculty of Science, is the leading member on the African continent of the NASA-linked Fermi Large Area Telescope collaboration. This international project led to discoveries such as the detection of gravitational waves, which proved Einstein's theory of general relativity and the source of cosmic neutrinos. Specializations in the disciplines of computer science and mathematics allows us to pursue research into artificial intelligence and machine learning as key drivers of the fourth industrial revolution, which forms the basis of the University of Johannesburg's strategic focus. The global rankings of academic subjects, the Shanghai Subject Rankings 2019, ranked the University of Johannesburg first in South Africa for geography. This agency also ranked our university second in South Africa for mathematics. Times Higher Education Subject Rankings in 2019 ranked UJ second in South Africa for physical science. The physical science subjects ranking highlights universities leading across mathematics and statistics, physics and astronomy, chemistry, geology and environmental, earth and marine sciences. The US News and World Report's Best Global Universities ranking, subject rankings, and the university ranking by academic performance field-based ranking ranked UJ second in South Africa for chemical sciences and chemistry. These international rankings underscore the value added to the University of Johannesburg by the disciplines housed in the Faculty of Science. We also host the largest cohort of chemists in one department in South Africa, so it is perhaps not surprising that this group's concerted efforts gained international recognition. In the Faculty of Science, our unique contribution to science is sculpted by enduring innovation, academic excellence, and the skillful training enjoyed by the inquiring minds of our students. We are therefore constantly aware of our duty to challenge existing knowledge, to accelerate the production of new knowledge, to expand the boundaries of our thoughts about what is possible, and then to create an environment in which students and staff can imagine and explore the impossible. I thank you. Kia liboha, nyabonga, baie dankie.
Tsidiso Malakwane, Biotechnology. Kakamatso, Surprise Masiane, Analytical Chemistry, with distinction. Buitumelo Mujake, Anna Mfolo, Biotechnology. Ramutititswe Munacheng, Analytical Chemistry. Precious Lebogang Musetla, biotechnology. Ntalo Craig Ngobeni, analytical chemistry. Tabitha Ntando Sithole, biotechnology. Zoxolo Ayanda Zungu, analytical chemistry. Samuel Bongani Giane, analytical chemistry. Sinyani Khutato Mapulane, biotechnology. Kotsetomo Vinolia Matibane, analytical chemistry. Sebenzile Kerry Mnisi, biotechnology. Malisila Mulefe, analytical chemistry. Newo Natasha Ndowu, biotechnology. Nelile Nzinisa, analytical chemistry. Gudani Nolin Tabayetsi, food technology. Ngetelani Hewitt Elkoto, analytical chemistry. Ecolin Michelle Vuma, analytical chemistry. Nkensani Mitchell Koza, mathematical sciences with specialization in applied mathematics and mathematics. Mutseremane Charles Make, mathematical sciences with specialization in applied mathematics and computer science. Hanifa Makamo, life and environmental sciences in geography and environmental management. Lavdelia Paledi Malaki, mathematical sciences with specialization in applied mathematics and mathematical statistics. Precious Mapudile, life and environmental sciences with specialization in human physiology and psychology. Reinelwe Makhetuwa Masha, life and environmental sciences with specialization in botany and biochemistry. Silemi Muchitele, information technology in computer science and informatics. Buitumelo Mulaudi, computer science and informatics. Nechetso Davis Mudawu, information technology in computer science and informatics. Terence Ilidio Ndowu, computer science and informatics. Sizwe Ngubane, mathematical sciences in applied mathematics and mathematics. Jabulile Clementine Nhlabati, life and environmental sciences with specialization in zoology and chemistry.
Teboho Sibanda, mathematical science in mathematics and mathematical statistics.
Kevin Smith, computer science and informatics. Michael Kevin Ngagowe Welape, computer science. Chanel James, computer science. Luyanda Kumalo, physics. Sindiswa Munwabisi Faglin, physics. Mpateleni Mudabu, applied mathematics.
Silva Pia, computer science. Godwin Sichulu, computer science. Nati Vuza, botany.
Vusumuzi Tsepang Khayatlolwe, geography. Som Ahmed Salato, food technology. Winifred Delali Anyomi, chemistry. Hlompo Kekeleto Chele, biochemistry with distinction. Anna Chrysostomo, physics with distinction. Sifelani Dube, chemistry. Lindy John, zoology with distinction. Tabakgolo Tiego Litsawu, Nanoscience. Justin Kyle Lloyd, Zoology. Vukosi Glenn Mabunda, Geography. Kukwane Phumelelo Malachi, Botany. Don Mangowa, Biotechnology. Liza Mpho Maponya, Chemistry. Katlego Mudisane, Chemistry. Mushidi Velemina Mufulatsi, Nanoscience with distinction. Trifosa Tubake Mukalapa, Environmental Management. Ritumetsi Precious Mulefi, Nanoscience. Tsepang Cheryl Muroke, Environmental Management. Petrus Sihlohu Musinohi, Computer Science. Mushito Litabo Mutupi, Nanoscience with distinction. Jabulani Ndaba, Zoology. Fumelani Lindsay Ngobeni, Environmental Management with distinction. Mfesane Nkwenkwezi, Chemistry. Mfupi Nchacha, Physics. Offense Kokoti Nchudisane, Zoology. Erin Francis Oberam, Zoology with distinction. Fernande Olpa Joyce Pankendem Njamo, Biotechnology. Padisha Solomon Ole, Chemistry with distinction. Notando Florence Oya, Biotechnology. Mabore Jerida Rasiala, Chemistry. Sanish Sampath, Information Technology with distinction. Megain Sawa, Geology. Kolwane California Shilaluke, Botany. Siabonga Presempt Smelane, Geography. Jabulile Tabsile Sindane, Environmental Management.
Ross Dillon Stewart, Botany with distinction. Carla Stein, Botany with distinction.
Khubona Lizzie Tau, Geology with distinction. Nomcebo Figile Yende, Physics with distinction. Chikala Eddie Lulamba, Doctor, Technologie, Biotechnology.
In his doctoral study, Chikala Edi Lulamba studied novel indigenous entomopathogenic nematode symbiotic bacterium duo for agricultural and pharmaceutical bioprospecting, Heterorhabditis zelendica strain ETL and Photorhabdus heterorhabditis strain ETL were the first documented record of EPN symbiotic bacterium duo species, respectively from Limpopo Province, South Africa. The bacterium secondary metabolites active compounds showed pesticidal, pharmaceutical, food, and cosmetic industrial potentials. In addition, the bacterial genome revealed putative novel genes which can be used for implementation in the design of improvement strategies for both EPN effectiveness and EPN-based liquid production methods. The candidate has presented his work at 1 local and 3 international conferences and has published 4 international accredited peer-reviewed journals.
Abosete Olupunukunola Abubakre, Philosophy, Doctor, Geology.
Abusede Abubarake examined the sedimentology and magnetostratigraphy of 280 million-year-old sedimentary rocks of the Eka group from 2 new deep drill cores KWV and KZF from the Eastern Cape and Western Cape respectively. These drill cores intersected the carbonaceous shales of the Prince Albert Formation and the Whitehill Formation that were recently identified for their shale gas resource potential. The cores also bear witness to changing climatic environmental conditions, from glacial through deep to shallow marine and ultimately non-marine conditions. She successfully merged sequenced stratigraphic, sedimentological and paleomagnetic techniques to understand the development of a Karoo Basin in the Permian period, and the study contributes towards better documentation of a Kiaman reverse polarity superchron. The candidate has presented her work at international conferences in Europe and the USA and has published one peer-reviewed journal article. 3 more manuscripts are currently in preparation.
Mpingana Ndilimeke Akawa, Philosophy, Doctor, Chemistry.
Akawa Mpingana Ndilimeke. The presence of pharmaceutical residues in the environment has been found to cause adverse impact on both terrestrial and aquatic organisms. Therefore, there is a need to develop analytical methods to monitor their presence in water systems. Mpingana Ndilimeke Akawa's doctoral study focused on the development of greener, simple and sensitive microextraction techniques for monitoring of selected pharmaceutical pollutants in water system. Nanostructured materials composed of activated carbon derived from waste materials and greener solvents were used for the development of microextraction methods. The analytical methods developed in this study revealed the presence of selected pharmaceuticals in various water systems. The key findings of this research have resulted into 2 peer-reviewed journal articles with 2 more manuscripts under review. The candidate has also presented her research finding at an international workshop.
Eviwe Quater Arunachalan, Philosophy, Doctor, Chemistry.
In her doctoral study, Eviwe Quater Arunachalan studied the synthesis of carbonaceous materials for use as adsorbents, which led to further use in catalysis as antimicrobial and in energy storage materials. 2 publications resulted from the research and collaborations with other researchers in the energy group at CSIR. Antimicrobial Research and Chemical Engineering Department at the University of Pretoria research groups by providing them with materials that was unique and highly effective in their respective fields. The research also showed potential for commercialization after the collaborators presented the technology at a business idea pitch. The candidate has presented her work at 2 local conferences.
Kostetile Raphael Beata, Philosophy, Doctor, Chemistry.
Beata Kositetile Raphael. Kositetile Raphael Beata's research focused on the design of layered double hydroxide nanocomposite for extraction and recovery of platinum group metals from mine waste. His study focused on the preparation of 3 different LDH-based nanocomposites, which showed high affinity towards gold, palladium, and iridium from various mine waste materials. The results obtained revealed that the synthesized nanocomposite has a potential to be used as alternative material for extraction and recovery of low concentration of precious metals from secondary resources. The candidate has presented his work at 2 local and 1 international conferences and has published 1 peer-reviewed article, 1 accepted, and 1 is under review.
Chidodzi Williams Opinaime Chikwu, Philosophy, Doctor, Applied Mathematics.
Chukwu Chidozie Williams. In his doctoral thesis, Chidozie Williams Chukwu proposed 4 mathematical models to gain insights on listeriosis, cross-contamination, and the implementation of optimal control strategies to control the disease in the event of an outbreak. The study was motivated by the recent listeria outbreak in South Africa between 2017 and 2018. The results of the study envisaged that an increase in contaminated food removal rate, decreasing the rate of food contamination, a constant implementation of awareness programs, joint implementation of the effects of media campaigns, treatment and removal of contaminated food products is essential in the control and possible eradication of the disease. In addition, the new results made a valuable contribution to few existing works in literature by quantifying the strategies used to manage and control human listeriosis outbreaks. The candidates' work resulted in 4 peer-reviewed journal articles in international and national journals consisting of 2 publications and 2 manuscripts in press.
Joseph Johannes Jacobus de Beer, Philosophy, Doctor, Botany.
In the study of Joseph Johannes Jacobus de Beer, quantitative ethnobotanical surveys were conducted in southern Bushmanland, an area linked to the oldest indigenous knowledge system on Earth. Interviews with 67 research participants in 5 villages resulted in first scientific records for 16 plant species, 135 vernacular names, and 130 plant uses. The data resulted in profound new insights into the philosophical meaning embedded in indigenous knowledge and the origins of medicinal and ritual plant use. Mastication, for example, is still prevalent and leads to new research questions about the pharmacokinetics of chewing rather than swallowing, and of the role of saliva and buccal mucosa in the absorption of bioactive and neuroactive chemical compounds. Oral traditional myths and legends agree with those in the Bleek and Lloyd archives from the same area, thus providing evidence of a continuation of San indigenous knowledge. The research resulted in 1 accepted publication, another submitted, and 2 more currently in preparation.
Benvenu, Gail, Fouda, Mbanga, Philosophy, Doctor, Chemistry.
By Benvenu Gail Fouda Mbanga's doctoral research focused on developing novel hybrid nanocomposites from fruit and vegetable waste, applying these for the remediation of heavy metals from wastewater and reusing the heavy metal-loaded spent adsorbents for latent fingerprint detection. He was able to successfully synthesize carbon dots, aluminium oxide nanoparticles composites, carbon nanosheets coated on zirconium oxide nanoplates, nanocomposite, and nitrogen-doped carbon nanoparticles coated on cerium oxide nanorods nanocomposite for the remediation of lead-2, zinc-2, and cadmium-2 respectively. He observed that in all 3 cases, the heavy metal-loaded spent adsorbents were effective labeling agents for latent fingerprint detection. This study has resulted in 1 publication in an international peer-reviewed journal and 2 local conference presentations.
Manuel Fundisi, Philosophy, Doctor, Geography.
Classifying plant species in small areas remains a challenge in the management of savanna ecosystems. Remote sensing techniques have proved useful in mapping species diversity. However, there is a need to extend their applicability in species-rich savanna environments. Remote sensing becomes even more important in small areas where biodiversity loss is often underreported. In his doctoral study, Emmanuel Fundisi investigated the performance of remote sensing for discriminating woody plant species in a localized savanna ecosystem. In doing so, he integrated remotely sensed data and machine learning algorithms to successfully classify woody plant species across seasons. Moreover, Emmanuel fused spectral and radar data to improve the efficacy of identifying plant species. These findings promise to encourage the incorporation of remote sensing for managing biodiversity at a local scale and throughout the year.
Nelisa Ncumisa Gaxela, Philosophy, Doctor, Chemistry.
Ms. Nelisa Gaxela's doctoral study focused on the synthesis of 2 different zwitteriteric polymers and their application in adsorption and membrane technology. The first zwitterionic polymers showed good performance for adsorptive heavy metal removal from wastewater. In addition, the candidates fabricated nanofiltration and ultrafiltration membranes using polyvinylidene fluoride or polyphenyl sulfone polymer, blended with a copolymer containing zwitterionic groups. The incorporation of zwitterion enhanced the flux and antifouling properties of the resultant membrane composite. The membranes exhibited promising application in rejection of dyes and heavy metals with good stability and better antifouling property, which is important for the long-term application in water purification. The candidate has presented her work in local and international conferences as well as workshops. From this doctoral work, Ms. Katlelas published 1 peer-reviewed journal article and 2 manuscripts currently in preparation.
Gerard Gous, philosophy doctor, computer science.
In his doctoral study, Gerard Gous introduces the holonic superposition collaborative multi-agent systems architecture, Splinter. Splinter introduces a design pattern and framework to design and implement holonic superposition intelligent multi-agent systems. The candidate proposed a novel approach to simulate the intelligence of agents as a recursive hierarchy of agents and incorporating the high-level concept of the quantum physics phenomenon known as the linear quantum superposition principle to introduce runtime pluggability in holonic multi-agent systems. The doctoral study demonstrates how holonic superposition intelligent agents extend existing multi-agent system concepts such as runtime, adaptive intelligence, agent communication, and agent knowledge representations. The candidate successfully applied Splinter to simulate human-like intelligence in a complex real-time strategy game using holonic superposition intelligent multi-agent systems. The candidate presented his work at 2 peer-reviewed international conferences and 1 peer-reviewed journal article.
Sandile Surprise Gwebu, philosophy doctor, chemistry.
Sandile Surprise Gwebu developed materials for alkaline direct alcohol fuel cells and perovskite solar cells. She synthesized 5 electrocatalysts for direct alcohol fuel cells. The developed electrocatalysts showed superior performance when compared against a commercial standard. The second part of her study focused on the fabrication of tin-based perovskite solar cells with reduced iodine content. The study demonstrated the possibility of developing less toxic tin-based perovskite solar cells. The candidate has 2 published articles and 2 manuscripts are ready for submission in peer-reviewed journals. The candidate has also presented some of the results at 3 local conferences and 1 international conference.
Tandre Ibrahim Jairo, philosophy doctor, environmental management.
The name of the candidate is Ms. Tandre Ibrahim Jairo. In her doctoral research, Tandre Ibrahim Jairo evaluated natural resource utilization and land cover dynamics in the Vembe Biosphere Reserve of South Africa. The VBR is one of the largest protected areas nationally, and given its interface between human settlements and biophysical components, there is a need for constant monitoring of resource utilization and land cover patterns within this protected area. This will enable timely detection of any unfavorable transformations. By making use of a triangulated survey design, both quantitative and qualitative data were collected. The results indicated a variety of natural resources utilized by the local rural communities for their livelihoods needs, while land cover dynamics showed increased vegetation cover inside the reserve. However, a more sustainable conservation approach would require enhanced local stakeholder collaboration and setting further priorities towards the conservation of biodiversity hotspots. The candidate has presented her findings in 1 international conference and has published 2 peer-reviewed journal articles.
Papatunde Adetoyin Koiki, philosophy doctor, Chemistry.
Babatunde Adedoyin Koiki's search for more efficient solar light-driven heterostructured photoanodes for the degradation of pharmaceutical compounds in water is the motivation for Mr. Koiki's doctoral research. He investigated the photoelectrocatalytic and photocatalytic properties of copper-1 oxide-based heterostructures and their applications in the degradation of selected pharmaceutical compounds in wastewater. In addition, it looked at improving the photoelectrocatalytic degradation process by using copper-1 oxide to activate persulfate ion, leading to the generation of sulfate radicals, which are more powerful than the known hydroxyl radical. Overall, its research has contributed significantly towards sustainable environmental and water resource management using simple but efficient photoelectrocatalytic water treatment processes. Its work has shed more light on the use of semiconductors in electrochemical water treatment technology under visible light. Mr. Koiki's doctoral study resulted in 4 scientific articles published in high-impact, peer-reviewed international journals. Additionally, the findings were presented at international conference.
Sonwabile Templeton Mafunda, Philosophy, Doctor, Mathematics.
Graphs are mathematical models for real-life networks, such as social networks, computer networks, the internet, or transportation networks. Sonwabile Mafunda's PhD research explores the distance measures, diameter, proximity, and remoteness in graphs not containing certain substructures. He showed that bounds on the size of a graph or Eulerian digraph of given diameter and connectivity can be improved significantly for bipartite graphs and also for bipartite Eulerian digraphs. The latter result is a consequence of a general principle obtained by him. He also gave several bounds on the 2 distance measures proximity and remoteness of graphs, as well as their difference and relations to other distance measures. He considerably improved several results from the literature under the additional assumption that the graph contains no 3 cycles or 4 cycles. The thesis has resulted in at least 1 publication in a peer-reviewed international journal so far, and national and international conference presentations.
Sphelele Sipesihle Pearl Malaza, Philosophy, Doctor, Chemistry.
Siphelele Pearl Malaza prepared organometallic complexes and metal organic frameworks bearing locally mined ruthenium, osmium, rhodium, iridium, palladium, and copper metals. And these were used for catalytic carbon dioxide recycling into formate and formamide chemicals. She contributed to an area of inquiry that sought to answer this question: how can CO2, a greenhouse gas causing global warming, how can it be sequestered and then recycled into useful chemicals? This research has made a serendipitous discovery of metal catalyst-free conversion of carbon dioxide. The discovery constitutes fundamental entry into CO2 transformation research. Hence, part of this work has not been published but will rather be protected by way of a patent. She has given an oral presentation at the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry conference in Paris under the theme Chemistry for the Environment. And this work has also been published in a premium journal dedicated solely to advances in cutting-edge research on carbon dioxide utilization.
Muzili Mabunga, Philosophy, Doctor, Botany.
The South African grassland biome is facing imminent decline in biodiversity due to the ongoing transformation and fragmentation. In comparison with other countries, current knowledge on the diversity of Fusarium species in grassland biome soils of South Africa is limited. In a doctoral study, Muzili Mavunga generated foundational data on the diversity of Fusarium species associated with grassland biome soils in the Gauteng and Free State provinces. Using DNA sequence data, results from this study showed that the underlying diversity of Fusarium species in grassland biome soils is high. The candidate presented her research at multiple conferences and published in peer-reviewed journals.
Eric Laka Murifi, Philosophy, Doctor, Chemistry.
Eric Laka Morifi developed composite materials from agricultural waste materials and metal oxides for the removal of heavy metals from wastewater and explored the regeneration and reusability of the spent adsorbents. Macadamia nutshells were activated with sulfuric acid and impregnated with copper and manganese oxide to increase the surface area and adsorption sites for the adsorbents. Microwave irradiation was used to reduce the bulk size of the adsorbent to nanoscale, while polypyrrole was used to modify the surface area of the adsorbent and crafting aiming groups to improve selectivity towards targeted heavy metals. The developed adsorbents were effective in removing cadmium-2, lead-2, and chromium-6. It was found that the spent adsorbents could be regenerated and reused repeatedly without losing their original adsorption capacity. The study has resulted in 1 publication and a manuscript under review in peer-reviewed journals.
Jean Leon Isidore Tendesha Muleba, Philosophy, Doctor, Environmental Management.
Jean-Léon Isidore Muleba tested some of the rare hypotheses used to explain human-plant interactions. Specifically, he interrogated the impact of protected areas on plant selection by humans for the development of traditional knowledge on plant uses. He first showed that plant selection is not a random behavior. Then he provided evidence of the role of plant appearancy theory in knowledge development for traditional medicine. Finally, he demonstrated that by strictly protecting biodiversity, protected areas break or block the natural processes or mechanisms driving a sustainable development of medicinal knowledge by local communities. He provided some recommendations on how to protect key biodiversity areas without preventing the process of traditional knowledge development. The candidate has presented his work at 1 local conference and has published 1 peer-reviewed journal article. Thank you.
William John Mushawimuka, Philosophy, Doctor, Environmental Management.
William John Mushamweka presents the first comprehensive tourism and climate change analysis for Zimbabwe. The study triangulates 3 different sets of empirical findings in evaluating Zimbabwean climate suitability and climate change perceptions in the tourism sector. The Tourism Climate Index was calculated for the period 1989 to 2014, confirming very good to excellent mean annual climate for tourism. Questionnaires completed by tourists and semi-structured interviews with tourism stakeholders at locations across Zimbabwe largely complemented the TCI results, finding that thermal comfort is the most important climatic variable considered for tourism climate suitability. The candidate has presented his work at 1 local and 1 international conference and has published 1 peer-reviewed journal article.
Efficient, Nzigayezwe Ncube, Philosophy, Doctor, Biochemistry.
Efficient Nube's research focused on an industrial microbiology topic with a biochemistry and biocatalysis focus. The research involved a metabolomics-based investigation using gas and liquid chromatography coupled to mass spectrometry in combination with nuclear magnetic resonance and chemometric modeling. This was utilized to monitor specialized metabolism associated with the transformation of sclareol to ambradiol, an important intermediate of ambrafuran used as a fixative in the perfume industry. Specifically, aspects of the bioconversion reaction targeting potential intermediates were investigated. The novelty of the research lies in the fact that the developed and targeted approach adequately captured the subtle and nuanced metabolic changes associated with the biotransformation reactions. Potential metabolic intermediates were identified that contributed to a better understanding of the industrial process and will be of value in future adaptations to the reaction conditions. The candidates' work has been published as high-end articles in accredited international journals.
Nini Pamela Sikoto, Philosophy, Doctor, Chemistry.
Pamela Sikoto's work involved the preparation of rhodium-1 complexes bearing nitrogen-oxygen shift-base ligands, and these were used as catalysts for the internal olefin or isomerization followed by hydroformylation reaction. By variation of the electronic properties of the ligands, she was able to prepare aldehydes of industrial relevance in the detergent, surfactant, and fragrancing industries. The catalyst precursors prepared as part of this study were highly chemoselective for branched aldehydes. Notably, the catalyst also demonstrated high selectivity in prior isomerization of the internal olefin to the terminal position, followed by its hydroformylation to aldehydes. Thus, this work has effectively highlighted the unique catalyst's ability to effect less favorable, thermodynamically contra-favored isomerization of internal olefins prior to its hydroformylation. The results of this thesis were presented at several catalysis conferences, locally and internationally, in 2018 and 2019. Her work has produced one publication, and one is currently under peer review.
Mapumzane Stanley Simelane, Philosophy, Doctor, Energy Studies.
The doctoral study of Stanley Simelane presents a detailed perspective on localization's role in advancing the just energy transition. The study characterized the economic feasibility of manufacturing solar photovoltaics in coal phasing out regions through a case study of Steve Twete local municipality. The jobs and economic development impact were modeled under different localization scenarios to measure the economic impact potential derived from enhanced local content policy and contribute to a just energy transition. Equally, the study weighed coal regions' participation and skills that could leverage the solar PV sector opportunities through employing a structured questionnaire. Furthermore, this study developed a reskilling conceptual framework for increased solar PV adoption in coal phase-out regions. 3 papers have been published in international peer-reviewed journals, and an additional journal paper was submitted for review.
Renee Clarisse Tong, Philosophy, Doctor, Botany.
Renee Clarisse Tong. Consumers are becoming more aware of nutrition, and the adoption of organic products is increasing. Renee Clarisse Tong's PhD study focused on the potential of bokashi hydroponic system for cultivating bell peppers. The study showed that the use of 10% bokashi as an organic hydroponic is promising, although vegetative growth, fruit yield, and post-harvest performance were lower compared to conventional hydroponics. This study and its approach will provide future research with baseline information on optimizing raw materials using bokashi hydroponic systems to produce bell pepper. The candidate published one peer-reviewed journal article.
Jacques Van Appel, Philosophy, Doctor, Mathematical Statistics.
Jacques Van Appel's doctoral thesis has made fundamental contributions to modeling contingent claims under the market model paradigm for interest rates. In particular, the log-normal forward LIBOR model and the displaced log-normal forward LIBOR model were considered. These models of interest rate term structure are in widespread use at financial institutions to price interest rate derivatives and manage interest rate risk. Unfortunately, under these models, there is no exact closed-form solution for swaption prices. Therefore, approximation formulae are essential. In this study, various new swaption volatility approximation formulae and moment approximating algorithms were derived using a multidimensional full weak order 2 Eta-Taylor series expansion in combination with a second order delta method. These were applied to price swaptions and shown to improve upon previous approaches, striking a balance between numerical efficiency and accuracy. Jacques has presented this work at 2 international conferences and published 2 peer-reviewed journals as a result.
Janice Williamson, Philosophy Doctor, Botany.
The thesis by Ms. Williamson uses molecular phylogenetic approaches to investigate the efficacy of DNA barcodes for the identification of species within the African cycad genus Encephalartos, and to further reconstruct their evolutionary history. Unique aspects of the study include the sequencing of additional markers, sampling at the population level, to cover multiple individuals per species, and to produce a DNA barcoding library. Since then, used the data applied to the real-world cases by successfully identifying fragmented material used in traditional medicine sourced from local markets. Ms. Williamson has presented the findings of her research in national and international scientific conferences and has published two peer-reviewed journal articles.
Pesenai Zanamwe, Philosophy Doctor, Botany.
In his doctoral study, Pesenai Zanamwe assessed the potential of ethylene as an alternative to gibberellic acid treatment during malting of Puma barley. Treatment with gibberellic acid was reported to cause some undesirable quality problems, and maltsters are searching for ways of reducing these undesirable effects and/or alternative treatments to gibberellic acid. Ethylene, another plant hormone with many similar effects to gibberellic acid on germination of seeds of many plant species, was hypothesized as a potential alternative. Using germination tests and experimental malting, it was shown that ethylene is not a good alternative to gibberellic acid treatment during malting of Puma barley. The candidate published 2 peer-reviewed journal articles.
The devastation brought by COVID-19 pandemic has left the global community in disarray. However, it is also a period that has shown our collective courage and unity as a country. Graduates, we are proud of your achievements. Yours is a truly outstanding and landmark achievement for you personally, your family and friends, your community, and for all of us here at UJ, South Africa and beyond. As we all celebrate, our graduates stand as reminders that accomplishment, triumph, and celebration are the outcomes of dedication and perseverance, traits which our nation and our world should draw great inspiration from. Our hope is that the time and sacrifices that you, your families, the university, and the state have invested in your education will now see you continue to grow intellectually, professionally, and as committed and respected citizens of our country and the wider global community. Let us also express words of gratitude to parents, families, spouses, partners, and friends for their support, motivation, and love during your studies. A graduation is an important achievement, and it also marks a new beginning. As our great leader Nelson Mandela wrote in his autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom, he said, "I have walked that long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. I have made missteps along the way, but I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. I have taken a moment here to rest, to steal a view of the glorious vista that surrounds me, to look back on the distance I have come. But I can only rest for a moment, for with freedom come responsibilities, and I dare not linger, for my long walk is not yet ended. Having reached the summit of the mountain, one realizes, as Nelson Mandela reminds us, that there are even more mountains and valleys ahead. You graduated today at a time when the world faces considerable challenges. However, we are confident that our UJ graduates will contribute significantly towards a sustainable, better world. We believe our graduates have acquired the ingredients to become leaders that display exemplary ethical leadership that sets the tone for high standards. Remain critical thinkers and, armed with your UJ qualification, be change agents for a better world. To our graduates, Chancellor's Medal and Faculty Prize winners, our Masters and Doctoral candidates, and their supervisors, congratulations and well done with your exceptional academic performance. Special congratulations are extended to our distinguished honorary doctorate recipients for this year. UJ is truly proud of and privileged to have this association with you. I thank you. Rea leboga, baya danki, siyabonga.
The University of Johannesburg, the future reimagined.